YouTube, what's going on? This is Coach Show, your Lululemon ambassador, coming to you with a quick video. We've been working on our drive phase, the acceleration, and trying to perfect that. I think I'm a pretty good coach when it comes to teaching athletes each phase of the race, but I want a little bit more. After our last competition, I decided to kind of revamp what I've been teaching and how I've been teaching it to the athletes. So I want to share what those things are. You may see some of the clips behind me already. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate the support. Let's do it. Okay, so I need more thigh lift. I need more thigh lift from the athletes. And that's as simple as I can make it. What I see in our acceleration is I see us trying to be quick. And it's not enough to ask an athlete to stop doing a thing without replacing it with something else. So that's just basic teaching principles. So my approach was, hey, from the very first step, I need us to set the table. I need the thigh up so we can move to and through the ground. Without doing so, we are more frequency oriented. If you've been following the channel for a little while, you know I started the season with a frequency focus. The frequency, though, if you watch those videos, does not come without the sufficient stride length. We need both of these things at play. How we move through the air will determine our frequency. Separate from the ground and use the ground will set up our stride length. So at practice the other day, I had the athletes just working on some drills. Some people I gave an external cue. Hey, I need you to get there in a certain amount of steps. Some people I gave the cue to work on their arms. But with everybody, we did some 2-point stance stuff. And I said, look, I need your thigh at 90 degrees. And there's a particular drill I want to break down with you that I did. I thought it was good because of the population of athletes I'm working with. I'm working with high school kids, middle school kids. And it's good for them to see what's right. A little bit of peer review, that kind of thing. So I'm doing the teaching, but they're also carrying some of the load as well. So here's the drill. I have the athlete standing on the pedals. Both feet are placed firmly. The settings don't need to be exact, right? We had people going in groups of 2 and 3, so no two blocks are exactly the same. But generally, if the angles are fine, we use it. And obviously the correct leg is forward. I'm holding the athlete up by their shoulders. And I'm giving them the cues of what my expectations are. I need to push up both feet. And then I ask them, what happens after you push up both feet? The back leg is supposed to come through. And when that back leg comes through, I want you to think about lifting it a little bit higher than you're used to. In fact, the cue I gave them specifically was I want it parallel to the ground. Now, you may be asking, I don't see anyone parallel to the ground in acceleration, especially from a 4-point stance. You're correct. That's because of the orientation of the hips. With the chest being more oriented toward the ground and subsequently the hips the same, the knee's never going to get to 90 degrees. You might see in a jumper since they're starting from a standing position, and that's where we are right now with this drill. So the cue is appropriate. So I'm holding the athlete up. They push up both feet. The free leg, the back leg comes through. And I said to the partner, here's a cone. Do not put it on their thigh until you see it parallel to the ground. And to the athlete that's working that I'm holding up, if they haven't put the cone there, you need to find more range of motion. This overemphasis is going to be huge for us because I really feel like a lot of athletes, especially the ones that I coach, we just feel like, okay, I had a race and so-and-so ran past me, so I need to work on being quicker. I don't want to nullify their experience. My job as their coach is to, almost validate what they're feeling, but just reposition them. Instead of looking at the wall, let's look at the window. The view's a lot better. I love this drill just for this, and I made it up kind of on the spot. The idea is you have a peer that you trust to tell you, hey, you're not quite where I need you to be. And then you have this feeling too, right? Because they have a different POV. The person that's in the blocks doing the drill, they have a different POV of what they think is appropriate. And it's also representing how far they are from what is necessary for hitting the ground or applying force or creating stride length. It's a great representation, great tool. You don't even need a pair of blocks. Maybe, you're on the wedge of the wall, maybe. But you definitely need three people, right? The athlete that's working, you need the athlete that's working, someone to hold them up so they can really lean into positions. And then you want just something to place on their thigh. I told them, I should be able to put a plate of spaghetti on top of your leg. Nothing should fall. And that kind of emphasis is what I'm looking for out the blocks. The knee is not going to come to 90 degrees out the blocks. Let's be very clear. But can it rise higher than it's used to so we can create more stride length? Absolutely. Quick one from me, guys. I appreciate your time. Got some more videos coming this week. I'm excited about getting those to you. Like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you have a great week. And until the next one. Peace.
Stop the camera. I just got back from practice. I put this to the test. Can this theory be practical? Is the thigh coming up going to have an immediate and effective, positively effective translation to our sprinting? And the answer is unequivocally yes. So don't proceed with caution. Go for it. I had three athletes. One was Deji, the young man who was kind of the focal point of this video, and two ladies. And I just kind of picked them at, there's a reason I picked them, but Deji, whose personal best 0 through 30 with a reaction. We used a free lap e-starter. He ran 4:25 during the fall.
Come on, let's go. Let's run. Let's run. All right. There we go. 4:24 for Colin. 4:25 for Deji.
He ran 4:21 today. Kayla Flowers, she's, an 8-low, 8-1, 60-meter sprinter, 26 high, in the 2. She ran 4:70 in the fall. Ran 4:67 today. 6'7", yeah. And then Farah Aziz, she ran 4:88 in the fall, ran 4:77 today. These are developmental athletes for sure. The times aren't mind-blowing by any stretch of the imagination, but you can kind of see all three are coming off personal bests at recent meets. So to have the validity of this training, this cue take effect for them is really positive. It's a positive sign for me as their coach, for them as athletes. And I know that the rest of the group that was looking really good in training today are also going to see positives. So I'm really happy with things. Having an update is always good. I wanted to tack it on to the end of this video, but like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you all. And until the next one, peace.